Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome. We're going to get started here in just a second. We're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff today. It's been a little bit since I did a REO show, so I'm excited to be back with you guys. So I'm going to be on Instagram, on Facebook. So I'm going to be talking about several things today. It's been a busy couple of weeks. So I did a mastermind group out in Salt Lake City a couple weeks ago. Went to a note conference, been sick, shaved. So we got a lot of things going on here. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit in depth about some of the stuff that's been going on. In the meantime, if you don't know, my name is Ben Fredericks, and I'm with a company called Odell REO. And if you are looking to buy properties at pennies on the dollar, I would encourage you to go to our website, which is odellbarnesreo.com, and can talk with you more about some of the great opportunities that we have all over the country. So we've got properties pretty much primarily from Texas to the East Coast. So if you are looking for deals that you can turn into rental properties, properties that you can fix and flip, properties that you could own or finance, there's a ton of great opportunities on the website that you should be checking out. I'm approached by a lot of investors all the time about how do you get started? How did you get started in this business? Well, you have to be able to take massive action. But the great news is that we offer tools to investors that can allow you to get your foot in the door and start creating some passive income wealth for yourself. And we do that through our owner financing program. So if you think that you need to work with big banks to get deals done, or to put 25%, 30% down because you're an investor, not the case. So reach out to us, send us a DM. We can talk with you more about owner financing and how that program works. So as I said, I've been out a couple of weeks. And so we're going to talk just a little bit about what's been going on and some of the things that we've been doing. So first and foremost, I went to a mastermind group. I joined a mastermind called Investor Fuel, which has been very exciting. Wasn't really sure what to expect from a mastermind. I'd done some masterminding in financial services, and had some great experience with that as far as strategies that you can use, different investors are doing. But I was really blown away about this experience. And the thing that blew me away the most is you can get rolling in a business and start to feel like, I'm doing something, I'm doing well. And the best thing that you can do is to put yourself into rooms where people are just blowing you out of the water. So that was the experience I had with Investor Fuel. I got there and there were guys and women just absolutely blowing it up in real estate investing. And when you get into a room where you feel like you're the dumbest person in the room, that is the greatest place to get. Put yourself in a position where you can feel uncomfortable and you start to have some great insights and things that you can do to put into your own business. Second piece to that was saw a great person that I've known about for several years speak. If you don't follow him on social media, I highly encourage you to do it. His name is Whalen. Blown away by his story. I've known about Sean through the MFCEO project and Andy Frisella. And I told Sean, I go, after the meeting was over, I told him, the first time I heard you, I hated your guts. I didn't like anything you had to say. And I realized shortly thereafter that was not about him, it was about me. So that was really cool to get and talk with him just a little bit. But if you don't follow Sean, I'd highly encourage you to do it. He is a brilliant guy. He's very direct and in your face. So if you can't handle that, you probably don't want to follow him. But he's definitely an awesome guy to check out. A couple of questions coming in. Hey, Jason, any houses down in Florida? Right now, we are sold out of property in Florida, but stay tuned. And you can see if we can pick up some other deals. Trying to get rich, yeah, aren't we all? So, the great thing is you don't need to buy a deal just in Florida. All right, so that is all mindset. So we buy property all over the country. I never go to these properties. I'll never see these properties. So get out of your own head that you need to, find properties that are right in your backyard. That's not necessarily the case. So certainly there's more risk tied to, things like that. But if you buy at the right price, you are, familiar with what you're getting yourself into, you can mitigate those risks. All right. So one thing I wanted to make note of that Sean talked about that I had a note here to talk about was vulnerability is a superpower. I thought that was really cool. He talked, in depth about that, how using his story about how he basically had, 4,000 houses and then burned it all to the ground. And that story is unbelievable. So his book is, very special. I read it in about an hour on a plane ride. So it's not, it's not War and Peace, but it will give you some great tools that you can use. He also talked about taking the word "but" out of your vocabulary. So think about this anytime you're in a challenging situation. All right. So, well, I was gonna do this deal, but this happened. Or, yeah, I was gonna get to the gym, but I was tired. All right. So taking the word "but" out of your vocabulary is going to be a challenge for a lot of people. But it really does make a pretty big impact on how you can change your mental state and the way that you tackle issues that you're facing. So it could be in business, it could be in your personal life. I'd love to take my wife out to dinner. Yeah, but I've got the kid tonight and I can't really do that. All right. So all that stuff is really just a story that you tell yourself. So the word trying, trying is also trying. There is no try. Do or do not. All right, that's it. There is no try. So I think that was Yoda, by the way. So if you want to really kind of elevate your mindset and where you're going to go, take the word "but" out of your vocabulary. All right. So, and take responsibility for everything. I mean, if you start taking responsibility for everything, nothing else matters. All right. So people are going to screw up. You have no control over that, but you do have control over yourself. You have control over the way that you react to the way that other people are either doing their job or not doing their job. So take responsibility for everything. And then it really doesn't matter what anybody else does because you own it. All right. So the next piece that we did 2 weeks back to back of travel, which to the West Coast, which I'm not going to do again. Got me sick as a dog, which is why I've not been on in a while. But we were honored to get Note Investor of the Year from the Noteworthy conference out in Newport Beach. That was a complete surprise, and we were really, really excited to get that, especially considering the company that was in the room with us. That was the least thing I expected to get for our company was to be recognized in that. And the conference, the person that puts on the conference, pulled us aside and said simply, nobody took more massive amounts of action than you guys did, which was really the biggest pat on the back I could have hoped to have gotten. I'm not really big on awards. I've won a bunch of them in financial services. They never really meant anything to me. This one did because I actually love this business. I love what I'm doing. I love the people that we help. It's great to be able to get that recognition, and it shows that we're making progress on what it is we're trying to accomplish. So last year, I think we did north of 70 notes, and our ultimate goal is to help 10,000 families become homeowners. That's my Mount Everest. If I can make that happen, then that's legacy to me. It's not only income, but it's legacy. I've helped a tremendous amount of my fellow citizens become homeowners. And that's really, one of the big things that I'm looking to do. So the moral of the story from, winning an award, which is great, the moral is massive action drives you forward. It creates a tremendous amount of opportunity. It also creates recognition, which you start to get noticed in the industry, and that can make a really big impact for your business. So real quick, we have a bunch of new inventory from around the country, so I would advise you to get over to the website and check that out. You can go to odellbarnesreo.com/properties, and you'll be able to get those. And then follow us. If you're watching us on Instagram, please check us out on Facebook. If you're following us on Facebook, please check us out on Instagram. YouTube channel as well. We've got a bunch of other videos up there. So if you're looking to learn, I put out a post this morning on Instagram about my favorite tool is Google, right? It is free, completely free. You can learn how to do anything through Google, all right? It's like, I think, quite frankly, I think Google is the greatest invention that has ever been beyond maybe a car or electricity. I think Google is like one of the greatest tools ever made because you can learn anything you want from Google. I see a lot of people, investing tens of thousands of dollars on trying to learn to become a real estate investor. 95% of everything I've learned in this business, I learned for free, either from online, Google, YouTube, books, all these things. Get a library card. You can learn anything that you want to learn. All right. There is no secret. There's no secret sauce that you need to be chasing and paying tens of thousands of dollars for. It's irrelevant. Everything you need to know is on the internet. All right. So use Google. You want to learn how to build a car? Google can teach you. You want to learn how to buy real estate? Google can teach you. You want to learn how to raise private money? Google can teach you. Okay. So use it. It's one of the greatest tools ever made. And it will make a big impact on your life if you use it. So the point of that post was stop wasting time on shit that isn't driving you towards your goals. If you're watching a lot of Netflix at night, start watching YouTube videos, all right? Start getting into personal development. Start learning about real estate investing, all right? All this stuff it's just out there for you to use, and to not use it is just ridiculous. Real quick, next week's show you did not want to miss because I'm having a very special guest. His name is Todd Fleming from the Kingdom Real Estate, buddy of mine who is also in Secret Entourage with me, which is an entrepreneurship group. He's a best-selling author. He's written 2 books that are best-selling on Amazon. And I'm going to be giving away a couple of his books for some people that are on the live. So be sure to check that out. It's going to be on Facebook Live only. So if you're watching me on Instagram right now, head on over to our Facebook and make sure that you follow us and turn on notifications there so you don't miss it. Todd is a founding member of the Kingdom Real Estate. And the Kingdom Real Estate is kind of like one of these mastermind groups where there are some mentors who are very successful in this business who help people really kind of get their foot in the door and help them with mindset. They help with tools and strategies and things that you can do. They help break down contracts, negotiations, and all this great stuff. And I was in the Kingdom, I think for 18 months, and they gave me everything I needed at that time to go from owning 5 rentals to buying over 240 properties last year. So that's a ringing endorsement. I'll endorse them until the cows come home. They're fantastic. So you're going to want to tune in to hear Todd's story. He operates out of Ohio, and it's basically like one of those guys that started off with like less than $10 in his pocket, was down to like his last $10, and then made something happen. So tune in next week. It will be Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern, live on Facebook. So you'll want to be able to tune in for that and turn on notifications. Got a few minutes here, but if you've got any questions, about real estate investing, REOs, notes, anything like that, feel free to type them in and we can chat about that a little bit. Thanks, Thomas. I appreciate you tuning in, man. Let's see. Okay. How does owner financing work? So owner financing is basically a tool that you can use, whether it's on one of our properties or if you're buying from a private seller. So a lot of times, if you see a property listed for sale, if you go in and do some good fact finding and try to understand why they are selling, you can start to get to the bottom if owner financing might be a possibility of being available. So a lot of owners won't necessarily advertise that they're going to want to do owner financing. So it takes some communication skills that you really have to develop. So for us, we do owner financing on any one of our properties. So if you've got an interest in buying some property, just talk to us and we can help you put together a deal that makes sense and finance it for you. And you don't have to worry about putting down 25, 30% like a lot of banks or hard money lenders will require you to do. So you can keep more money in your pocket, use those for repairs, rehab, whatever the case may be, and get your foot in the door in real estate investing. But if you're looking to negotiate owner financing from a private seller, well, then you've got to sit down and really kind of evaluate, how that's going to work. So maybe they're willing to do, a owner finance deal if you just put 10% down, but you never will get it if you don't ask. So, owner financing is a great tool. You just have to learn how to use it. Again, I would direct you towards YouTube because there's some great content on there about owner financing and how you can find it, how you can use it, how you can negotiate it, all that good stuff. You guys work in Cleveland? Yes, absolutely we do in Cleveland. Love Cleveland. Got some good friends up there that buy property from us. And we do actually have some inventory in Cleveland right now. So if you head on over to our website, our link is in our profile. You can check that out. What is this? This on my shirt, this is for REO. REO is a group that I'm in with Ed Milet and Andy Frisella and a bunch of other badasses. They are coaching us. So it's a really kind of an exclusive group. So if you head over to Andy Frisella's page or Ed Milet's page, you can learn a little bit more about it. You guys should be following them if you're not listening to their podcast, following them on Instagram, Facebook, wherever you can find them because they are awesome. They've changed my life and they could probably do the same for you if you're not already listening. Let's see, anything else? Thanks everybody for tuning in. I appreciate it. Next week is going to be exciting. I'm really excited to interview Todd. He's a good dude and he's helped a lot of people really kind of get their foot in the door in real estate, and myself included. So you will not want to miss that. Again, so next week, 3 o'clock Eastern on Facebook Live, you will want to tune in for that. Any other questions? Otherwise, I'm going to sign off and go grab some lunch. So again, head over to our website, odellbarnesreo.com, and you can see some of the properties that we have available. We also have notes available for sale. So if you're interested in buying yourself some passive income with properties that are already established with good paying people inside of them, that's an opportunity that you can check out as well. So if you don't have knowledge about notes, I've got some videos on our YouTube page where I talk about that. But essentially what you're doing is buying debt. All right. So you're buying the piece of paper that the note debt is on. All right. And then you essentially become the bank, and that person, we will transfer those payments over to you. So the great thing I love about notes is there's no tenants, there's no termites, there's no toilets. I don't have to worry about repairs. I don't pay the taxes. I don't pay the insurance, nothing. All I do is collect the monthly income. So if you want to get into the note game, I would seriously suggest that you think about it. Learn to get yourself educated on owner financing, how all that works. You can buy properties from us, turn around and owner finance them to somebody in any given community. It's a great time to do it right now because a lot of people are getting those tax returns, and instead of blowing it on something, they could start owning property for themselves. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in today. I appreciate it. Try to do these a little bit more. Oh, what happens if they don't pay? Well, then you're in a situation where you have a couple of options. So if somebody doesn't pay on a note, you can foreclose on that note. You could offer a cash for keys type situation. So the idea is that you're buying the note at a discount. So let's say, for instance, that we have a $100,000 note that is owed to us. you might buy that note for anywhere between $75,000 and $90,000. So you've got some built-in equity into that deal. If the value of the property is worth, let's say, $125,000, now you've significantly got some good equity in that deal. So you would have options then. So yes, you'd have to go through a process where you might have to foreclose on them and evict them and get them out. But the idea is if, let's say you bought it for $75,000 and the property's worth $125,000, well, now you've turned around and sold it after you've gotten them out of there and made a very significant profit. So you can also do like a cash for keys, where that's essentially where you bribe them to get the hell out of your property. So you say, look, I'll give you $1,500. This is your walking Christmas gift. Get out, and I'll cancel your debt. And then you can do a couple of things. You could create new debt on that property. You could sell that property. You could turn it into a rental, whatever. So you're going to have some options. So hopefully that answers your question there. What to do with notes that don't pay. So the best thing you can do really is just to underwrite that note from the get-go, which is what we do. So we look at a borrower's ability to repay. We look at their income, we look at their employment, all that stuff. So you have to learn how to underwrite these things, almost exactly the same way as a bank would, because you are the bank. So you want to make sure somebody can pay you back and that they have an ability, and a desire to pay you back. If they never paid anyone, well, maybe you don't want to buy that deal, So for us, it's all relative, because we own a property free and clear. We can mitigate that risk because we have volume. But if you just want to buy one deal, then you really have to be a little bit more conservative and make sure that things are running a little bit more smoothly. So, okay, guys. Well, thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate it. Thanks for following us. We greatly appreciate it. Glad to be back with you guys. Good to be healthy again and not sick. So we'll try to do these a little bit more regularly. If there are certain things that you guys want to learn more about that I can discuss in detail on these things, I'm happy to do it. Just send me a DM on things that you might be struggling with, and we can cover those. If there are people you want to hear from, that would be good to have on the show, where we can have a dialogue about either notes or rental properties, fix and flips, REOs, auctions, whatever the case may be. Send us a DM and we'll definitely talk about it and try to get that going. So thanks for tuning in. Y'all have a great rest of the week, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.